We will get started here shortly.
Hey, Sam. I think you're on. Yeah, there you go.
Hello, hello. We're just waiting for John and Antonio.
There, we got 16 guests already. Welcome, guys. The session's going to start in about 5 minutes, so we're queuing up here. All right. How's it going over there, Sam? You feeling good?
Yeah, feeling great.
Good.
How are you doing?
Awesome. Super excited.
Good. Okay.
Good
Well,
day.
good.
Well, welcome, everybody. We're going to be getting started in about 5 minutes. The guys from Transfinder are going to be jumping on here.
All right. I'll let you take it away. I'll
Thanks,
be on the
Sam.
sidelines.
All right. So now it's the Tony show. No kidding. We're just waiting for everybody to pop in. Hope you're all enjoying yourself. Feel free to drop something in the chat. Say hello. If you're enjoying yourself, we're off for our first virtual conference. It's going to be a fun one, I think. I'm Tony Corpin, the publisher and president of STN. Excited to be here. Hey, Ryan Hahn. Thanks for dropping a note. Good to see you. At least virtually, I guess. And Katrina Falk. Excellent. Thanks for checking in there. Excited to have you. And if you guys notice too, there's a little eyeball that says 53 people. So 53 people are watching. There's 457 people that are live on the platform right now. Hey, John Briggs is on. Hey, John, I think you're on mute there. Transfinder. Michael Bentley. Hey, Michael. Hey, Antonio, Mr. Tony Civitella. Welcome to the party.
Thank you, brother.
Excellent. We're just warming up here. Yeah, I hear you good. Okay? How about you, John? Mic check. Bridget's got her.
John, can you hear? All right.
John can't hear. John's got to get his audio straightened out. Audio might be the Antonio show.
We'll just swap.
All right. So, Tony, we've got 69 viewers right now. I can see the little eyeball
John,
up there.
I can't.
I can hear you now.
Oh,
I heard you.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
I heard
John,
you.
I don't hear you guys.
John,
you're there. So I guess we hear you, John. Good morning, Matt Miller. Good morning, Rich Gallagher over there in Bay Shore.
Let's say good morning, right? Can they hear me?
Yeah, they can hear you.
Hey. Good morning.
Rhonda Copeland, shout out. Good morning, Rhonda. Jerry Gill. Hey, Jerry, thanks for writing in the chat this morning. You guys got questions?
But I'll still. I don't think I need to really.
Oh, Rich is wanting to jump on. Tony, you want to have Rich jump on here? He's gonna jump on and say hi there. Maybe
sure. Go ahead.
All right, Rich. Rich is here with us.
There you go. Always sharp dressed man. Right, you got the nice tie on. I went a little bit more casual with the Transfinder logo shirt. It feels good to wear socks today, so we're actually in the office. We're so excited.
Are you at work or are you still at home?
No, this is actually at 440 State Street. There's a bunch of us here today, and wearing our mask, of course. Got to celebrate last night's victory from the Cowboys. Sorry, guys. And there's John Daniels.
Hey, John.
Got Rick here, Bridget. They're waving at us. They're actually here. There's people on the street. It's great.
All right, we got about 1 minute, so we kick off.
Can they hear us? Can you hear John?
Testing. 1, 2, 3.
I can hear you.
Okay.
This is why we jump
You
on
will be
early
my interpreter, Tony.
to make sure everything is silky smooth. All right, so Tony, I'm going to take off. I'm going to leave it to you. We got to start. All right. Oh, Antonio, someone's talking smack about your NFL team. We got Ryan Hahn.
Mm-hmm.
He is he's saying
It's a true American team. So definitely.
nice comeback last night for sure. Cowboys.
Which we needed that.
Got a few. Leela Lima, she's a Cowboys fan. Look at that. That's a good sign.
Awesome. Great sign.
All right, Tony. So everyone, welcome. This is the Transfinders session. I'm going to introduce Antonio Civitella, President CEO, and John Briggs, the Client Implementation Manager. I'm going to flip it over to you guys and have a great session. I'll be here in the background if you need me.
Good morning, everyone. My name is John Briggs. I am the Client Implementation Manager here at Transfinder, and I am graciously joined by Antonio Civitella, who is the President and CEO of Transfinder. We are here today and very excited to be able to present to you integrated solutions from Transfinder. We are going to provide you a snapshot of what we're doing today with our clients in these ever-changing times and how our products can affect school transportations and school operations altogether. So again, I'm John, that's Tony. Let's get started.
Well, John, it was great. Actually, he's to my left, so I'm going to try to do some fist pump periodically so that way you guys could see it. Yeah, there he is right there. It feels great. Welcome, everyone. As John introduced me, Tony Civitella, President, CEO of Transfinder. Very excited to be part of this new event here at STN that launched today. This is great. So the whole idea here today is that John is going to try to present a 50,000-foot view of our products and how they're integrated and how they all work together. One of the things that you see this logo here, we've been emphasizing a new theme here at Transfinder. We're embracing during this pandemic, and I'm sure all you guys will agree with us. We want peace of mind more than ever. And by the way, you'll hear more about the peace of mind event during my CEO Tech Talk, which is, I believe, tomorrow. But the whole idea, I just want to let you know about what does that mean, peace of mind. It's a mental state of calmness or tranquility, a freedom from worry and anxiety. Man, wouldn't it be nice to have some of that right now? And I think as things are getting more back to normal, it feels great. But we'll talk more about that. But right now, what we want to do is have John go through our solutions and our products and really how they integrate one another. And obviously, we'd love to hear from you guys with questions toward the end. All right, John.
Thank you. All right, we're dealing a lot with circles and wheels today. We just talked about the peace plan and saw that come into play. Very similar structure to our product breakdown. If you've known Transfinder or worked with Transfinder in the past, you know there is a secret sauce involved in everything that we do, and that is routing. Routing. Getting kids safely to and from school is our highest priority. And we have a whole slew of products that help you to do just that. Many of you are aware several months ago when in the spring when everyone started working virtually and we're experiencing COVID at its height, we released RouteFinder Plus. We had been working with RouteFinder Pro for many, many years, but we are extremely excited about RouteFinder Plus. And I want to make sure to emphasize the key here, and the key will always be safely routing. And that trend continues with RouteFinder Plus. Every story that I'll mention today will ultimately tie back to transportation and transportation safety. So you can see RouteFinder Plus is at the center of this, but it's ultimately tied in from everything to GPS to vehicle maintenance.
And one thing we've got to just keep re-emphasizing, John, is that we're the finder company, right? We're going to see around this wheel all different products that end with Finder. That's really what our products and our solutions. So I love how this wheel really comes to life at this point. And I can't wait to hear some of the real life examples that our clients are using these Finder products. By the way, I love how we keep talking about the secret sauce. It's not so secret after all, right?
Yeah, we keep telling people about it. So
But it is our secret sauce, and we've shared our sauce, like grandma's sauce, and really it's my mom. Speaking of sauce, where it's actually tomato paste making season, tomato sauce. A lot of people use different things, but good. All right.
all right, let's do it. So again, talk about our products and real life examples of how they're being used in these times. And no surprise, we've mentioned it a few times already, RouteFinder Plus, but let's talk about how it can assist. So it creates planned trips. What we do is we provide the technology, you provide your local knowledge and your district policies. We then apply them and use them to help inform your trips and your transportation in RouteFinder Plus. Plan with safety as the highest priority. Again, getting those kids safely to and from school. You have the ability to prohibit student crossing at multiple levels within RouteFinder Plus. You can also completely restrict travel on dangerous roads. So if you know that you don't want your vehicle going down a certain area, you can specify that within RouteFinder Plus. It's pretty cool. And then finally, incorporating the most up-to-date student information. We know that updates are coming through every day. A student who started the first day of school as going in 5 days a week or 2 days a week may now decide to go fully virtual for a number of reasons. You need to know that information right now, so your drivers aren't going to that stop over and over again. And again, we're making sure you can save as much money and optimize your trips as much as possible. All right, here is a screenshot from RouteFinder Plus. There's a bunch of things going on, and I'll be able to specify exactly what you're seeing. On the left-hand side, you can see our routing palette. It highlights everything that we have open. So we have a whole bunch of different trips that are open right now and ready to be configured. Maybe we want to move stops between trips. Maybe we want to update student assignments, take a student off of a stop or add them to a stop if they weren't eligible previously. All of that can be done through here, and it's not just one trip at a time. Again, take note, we have close to 10 trips that are open right now. I promised real life scenarios and real life examples. Let me give you one. I have a client in Ohio who is currently using an A-B hybrid schedule. What does that mean? Well, they've updated their student information system to specify if a student is an A schedule or a B schedule. With that, they're only eligible for A scheduled trips or B scheduled trips. What we've done with RouteFinder Plus is we've imported that A-B hybrid trip information into RouteFinder Plus. What we can then do is apply filters to trips. So if you're working on a Schedule A trip, the only students you'll see on your map would be those that are eligible for a Route A trip. So again, we're living in really different times, and this is just a real life example of how Plus is being used.
I mean, great example, of course, this A/B routes and hybrid. So many things are going on, of course, today. One of the things about obviously routers, the whole idea is to plan out these very safe routes, but we've implemented a new feature here with the new product. It's with optimization. So our system really builds these route extremely efficient. But one thing that I want to say, when a lot of our clients have been using this, we have actually given them ways for them to take their local institutional knowledge and bake it in. I'm talking about the sauce and all that, it's baking it in. So now you could bake that information right into the routing system. It can then create efficient route and still be extremely safe. So it's something I want to point that out, of course.
Very good. Thanks, Tony. Info Finder I. What if I were to tell you there is a product that could potentially decrease the number of phone calls and emails your transportation department is getting? I'm sure you would hate that idea, right? Probably not, actually. So Info Finder I, here are some of the considerations, and here's what it can do to help you out. It is a public website that is for parents and guardians, and what you can do is type in an address in your local area, and that allows you to see the physical school boundaries you reside within. It also allows you to see what trips and what stops service that particular address or that particular location. So again, decreasing the number of phone calls and emails that you're getting, parents and guardians can be self-sufficient in looking up this information. Important to note here as well, no personally identifiable information. So we're not linking individual student names with stops, just addresses and then the trip information related to that. All right, we talked about changes are happening all the time with your trips. Guess what? As soon as you make a change in Route Finder Plus, you can hit one button, transmit, and that information will automatically go to the InfoFinder I website. So within a matter of seconds, within a minute, parents will be able to log into the InfoFinder I website and get that update that you just transmitted. I think that's really cool. And then finally, you can create bulletins to help the community. So there are a bunch of new policies that are in effect to help with social distancing and making sure our kids are safe from COVID-19. You can also include best practices for using the InfoFinder I website. So if it's someone's first time logging in, we can give them suggestions and say, hey, you don't have to get the street name spelled exactly right. We'll give you suggestions based on what you type in, and you'll eventually be able to see the results. All of that can be done through InfoFinder I. Here is a screenshot of InfoFinder I in action. A couple things I'll point out to you. On the left-hand side, that's where you can type in the address. And below that, you'll see the results. We have stops and school boundaries, and we can see the information for that, not only in the search results on the left-hand side, but you can physically see where they're at on the InfoFinder I site. You as the school district have complete control over what information shows up here. So if you wanted to just provide the time and that's it for the stop, you can certainly do that. If you wanted to show the time as well as the vehicle that's involved, the trip path for that entire trip, a lot of information can be conveyed through this, and it's completely up to you.
I mean, one thing that I have to keep emphasizing on InfoFinder I, it's really we're one of the pioneers that made this type of product available for our clients, but it's public facing, which means we've done a lot of research. A lot of our clients are using a desktop, but there's a huge, obviously, move to technology using a smartphone. So all of our products, by the way, we don't need to talk too much about that, but it's mobile friendly, which means it looks really nice even on a mobile device. And again, these kind of products, especially InfoFinder I, will be right off your website. That way parents can actually get that same experience, whether it's going to be from your website, and hopefully your website is already mobile friendly, which you should make sure it is. And then, of course, other use that I want to mention is the realtors. I'm sure you've heard many times with our clients that there's realtors that actually would call up your office saying, hey, I have clients that are considering moving into this location. What school does it serve? And these are things that even realtors could actually pull this information. There's so much this product could offer our clients. Again, we were pioneers. We're probably about almost 20 years ago we released this product, which gets better and better every day.
Very good. One quick note I'll say, real life example. I had a client in Pennsylvania who actually transmitted 2 different scenarios to their InfoFinder I website at the same time. So when school was getting ready to start, they were ready with A, but B was also an option too, depending on how the COVID spread rate in the county. So they wanted to make sure that parents were informed, hey, we're starting with A, but if we have to go to scenario B, here's what the transportation looks like for your particular neighborhood. So we do have the ability to transmit from multiple databases. TripFinder, all right. You may be surprised depending on which state you're in right now, but field trips are still happening. And TripFinder is a centralized portal for real-time field trip requests, approval, generating reports, all of the above. Each user is going to have their own personalized permissions. So what this means is if you want somebody only submitting field trips for a particular school, you can set them up. So as soon as they log in, that's all they can do. So you have the ability to update all the permissions for all the users. And then finally, you can also assign resources to field trips. You can indicate the drivers and the vehicles that should be assigned. And you can also indicate if specialized equipment is needed. Maybe you need a trailer for football equipment and football pads. A couple other examples I can think of, but all of that can be specified through TripFinder. Here's an example of what TripFinder looks like for an end user on the left-hand side. If you have the permissions to approve field trips, you can see all of the approvals that are ready for you to go at the left-hand side. You can also indicate and submit for a brand new field trip on the right-hand side. One important note, TripFinder compared to previous programs that we've utilized, like InfoFinder LE, if you have 30 field trips that are pending approval and they built up over a couple days, you can knock them all out in one action, which I think is pretty cool.
One thing that, talk about field trips, and I always, to give some Cody Cox, give you a shout out. I've seen your Facebook postings that clearly there's sports going on. These kind of products could be used also for your sport events. But coaches will actually request these field trips, we call them, for a sports event. And I love how some of those buses are covered with obviously the band and instruments are in there, but it's covered with mascots and it's painted. I love that, so I'm impressed. But there's a lot of great taste for this product, of course.
Absolutely. And one of the things I'll mention here too, I have a client in North Dakota. And so I connected with them over the summer and they said, John, what's going on with TripFinder? And I said, I don't know, you tell me. And they said, well, we live in North Dakota. The mere fact of us living here is social distancing. So it was all plans ahead for field trips in the fall. So they're still doing athletics. They're still doing academic trips as well. So they needed to set up both an academic hierarchy for approving and submitting field trips and an athletic one as well. And we were able to accommodate for both of those. So never make any assumptions. We just got to talk it out and see what you need, and we'll be able to help you out. All right, SnapFinder, one of the newest kids on the block, not the band, but the products. All right, here's some considerations. It is a parent app used to track student bus assignments, and it's a little bit more than that, actually. One of the newest features that we are offering, customizable geo alerts that will notify the user when the bus is in range. So the example that we're sharing with our clients, if you know that the bus does a U-turn before it enters your block and you want to know when that U-turn occurs because that gives you enough time to put on the kids' jackets, make sure that they have the lunch in the backpack, you can set that up as your geo alert. And as soon as that U-turn occurs, you'll be made aware and you'll know, hey, I have 5 minutes to get the kids ready and out the door. What this also does is it helps to make sure that the kids aren't outside in poor conditions, a lot of snow, a lot of rain. You can know exactly when that vehicle is coming and time it perfectly. And then finally, announcements. So announcements can be sent to specific groups of parents and guardians, and I'll be able to give you some real life examples here. But one of the cool things about these announcements is that they come out in push notifications. So on that smart device, on that mobile device that you have SnapFinder, you can automatically see a message that the transportation team pushed out to parents. Here's an example of one of these, and we actually saw this over the course of the summer. There were a lot of meal delivery pickups and drop-offs, and so what school transportation teams did is they utilized these push notifications to help inform the public. Hey, here's the location, here's the time, and here are the policies for that meal pickup or that meal drop-off if they were coming to you. Talked about announcements. Left-hand side, blank slate. Whatever you wanted to do. On the right-hand side, you have that announcement ready to go, and you're able to indicate the recipients that you need to have this sent to.
I mean, love the announcement. We actually made a special announcement in early March, right when we all went home in March, that we're providing SnapFinder communication at no cost to our clients, and really, even if you're not a client, we're still offering that process. So that product, it's still offering at no cost to you. This offer is good until December 31st of this year. We know this is a way to communicate with parents, just whether it's push like John just mentioned and different things. No, I like about the geo alerts. One thing is that what John talked about is the geo alerts. We actually define these geo alert zones. And if you have GPS providers from Zonar, GPS from Zonar or other GPS vendors, and if you are using others, please contact us and we'll see if we can integrate those. But if you have those products, that's when it becomes alive. Those alerts, you can see the bus traveling on the map and all that. But obviously the communication piece is really what our big secret sauce is. A lot of products out there we know that are an app, but our secret sauce is part of the communication. Bus tracking is important, but communication is, I believe, is just as important.
Absolutely. Thank you, Tony. The real life example I'll give you for announcements. I have a client in Georgia who is utilizing push notifications to let people know and let parents know if the bus was a little bit behind, maybe 10 or 15 minutes. So obviously you're using your phone in the morning, making sure, checking your work email, making sure you set up your schedule okay. And then all of a sudden you get that push notification, hey, all stops on bus 12 a.m. are running 10 minutes behind. And then you have that extra 10 minutes to get the kids ready and get them out the door. So push notifications, even drilling down to a particular trip or group of students and parents is more than possible within StopFinder. All right, viewfinder. We've been talking a lot about public facing and parent facing. Let's talk a little bit more about the internal stakeholders at the district. And this is where viewfinder comes into play. This is where district staff can look up student transportation details. Again, we are all about minimizing the number of phone calls, emails you're getting from parents, but also from people at the schools, maybe secretaries, executive assistants. If they're constantly reaching out to you to get student transportation information, that's taking you away from your daily tasks. We want to give you some of that time back. So again, you can set people up as users and they can look up that information independently. Just like TripFinder, we can set this up so each user will have personalized permissions. So let's say, for example, you have a secretary at JFK Elementary School. If you only want her looking up student and trip information related to that school, you can set that up in viewfinder. So again, people are only looking at the information you want them to see. And then finally, scheduled reports can be sent to internal stakeholders. If you want, you can set it up so at the beginning of every week, you send updated bus rosters to your drivers or your dispatchers so they know which students are riding that week and which stops you need them to go to. Here's a screenshot of viewfinder and what it looks like for an internal stakeholder. On the left-hand side, you can see that we have a breakdown of all the trips. You can drill down further. So again, if you know, hey, I want to see what's going on with bus 12 a.m. because I just got a call from a parent asking, where should the bus be around 8:15 in the morning? I want to provide them an answer. You can use this to find out that information. You can see the stops, the drive path, the stop times. All of that can be done for an individual user.
I mean, I know it's called viewfinder, so we emphasize view. It's view only, which means all your district. It's really a site license when our clients get this product that works across your district. Unlimited users. Clearly, it's view only. Nobody needs another 100 routers to actually work on your staff to tell you which way to build your routes. We don't need that. We obviously have professionals. That's what you guys do. You're the routers. We don't need everyone else to give us feedback, or actually not feedback. We'll always like feedback, but actually go and do the work. We don't need that. So that's why it's really it's view only. You get so much data is presented to all your stakeholders. And what I like about this is something I got to keep emphasizing. It's browser friendly, which means it works really nice on a tablet or a phone, and it's really on the go. And that's what's exciting about these products. And this is where we got to think about this. People are not going to just be in front of the computers anymore. And we can't worry about where's my computer. You're going to have either a tablet or smartphones, and they're just getting better and better. So that's something that I got to keep reminding our client base and really the clients are coming on board that we want to make sure when you buy a product, and by the way, you notice everything's browser based at this point, which means it works on a browser or it works on a tablet. So very important. We love this product. There's so much history in how this product came about a few years ago, and again, and through feedback, you guys want to be able to access your data fast, accurate, and then also there's tons of other stakeholders that have to see your data. So very nice.
Thank you, Tony. Real life example real quick. Client in Texas has asked any district personnel to use viewfinder as the system of record. And one of the biggest reasons behind that is because any changes that they're making in Route Finder Plus actually automatically are viewable in viewfinder. You don't even have to transmit. You make a change, you save a change. As soon as that happens, anyone who logs in and has the appropriate permissions can see the most up-to-date transportation information. All right. So we've certainly talked about a lot today. We certainly appreciate your time. This isn't going to be the only time you'll be hearing from Transfinder during the course of the next couple days. But we want to thank you for being a part of today's presentation. We hope we were able to provide you with some examples that you could then apply to your transportation operation. And of course, like any other presentation, we need Tony to put a bow on this. So Tony, if you wouldn't mind.
Thank you, John. Great job. And I love how you highlighted our clients and actually how they use our products. You know, we always talk great about our own products. That's our job, especially CEO. I'm supposed to say always good things about our products, but it's always great when you hear our clients talk about it and how they use our products. So that was an important aspect. And I love those examples really hit home for me. You know, we've been in business for 32 years and now we're surpassed 130 employees at the company across the world. And what's important to us is to get feedback. And we get feedback all the time. We actually are the highest critics ourselves. We always criticize, how can we do better? And we always want to hear from our clients, how can we do a better job? And what other solutions out there we should be solving? And I know that sometimes we're in front of things. We're maybe a little bit ahead of schedule on, hey, we should be solving this before you even ask for it. And it's something, that's our job. It's in 32 years. We want to make sure that we're the solution in a company that it's going to be around for another 32 more years, of course. And I love how fast things are moving. And actually, there's been a huge technology boom here. Let's face it, the past 6 months forced anyone, and I got stories even how my mom is using Zoom on her iPad that I brought over there, because it's something that when you need to learn technology, you use it. And so there's a huge technology boom from the industry, which we're excited about that. And we obviously want to encourage you guys to say it's our job to make the product as easy as possible. But again, thank you so much for attending this session. John, great job. And everyone here at the company, I want to thank and all the employees here. They're doing a great job. We're home, and I feel like we're more connected than ever. Again, thank you and have a great day.
Oh, actually, well, I think we may have some questions.
Oh, we have some questions.
So I think, that feedback, let's follow through on that.
I love it.
So Bridget is joining us here today too. So
right.
Bridget, what are people saying? What are people asking?
So we have some great questions.
And John, if you can repeat the question too, so we can hear it instead of just giving an answer, that'd be great.
Are we able to see the questions?
You may be able to, actually, on the right-hand side.
Yeah, we have the questions on the right hand.
And here's John. John, there you are.
And there's Tony.
Make it real.
This is like Inception over and over again.
That's right.
We have a video question. Would you like me to bring that up on the screen?
Sure.
Video request? Okay. So we have Dustin Self here. It's got a question.
Oh, I see the questions too here. I see the questions.
Oh, it looks like we lost him. Dustin, you can request again if you'd like, and we can bring you up. Yeah, we have a bunch of questions in the session chat here.
Does viewfinder allow for parental password access? It sounds like all stop information is included, and I don't think I want that available.
Do you want me to handle that?
You could do the first question.
That's okay.
So repeat the question.
Well, viewfinder does it require a password? So great question. Couple pieces to that. It does not. So there's no personally identifiable information. If you are concerned about which trips you want to send to that viewfinder website, you can actually specify individual trips that you do or do not want to transmit. We have a lot of districts that have special needs trips that they keep separate, because what they don't want to see is if there's a special needs stop in the middle of a block and that's right next door to somebody else who uses a corner stop and they don't want to walk, they may think, hey, I can get on that stop that's right next door, when that's not necessarily the case. So you have full control over what you transmit to viewfinder and no password needed, because there's no personally identifiable information.
Very good. I have another question here that says, we do not route to homes. So our bus stops, our shopping centers, business properties, etc. We have 150 kids at one stop, 3 or more buses, and so forth. How will this be managed through Transfinder? Our main concern is moving away from an Excel spreadsheet and better managed list administrators or writers. I think I understand your question. I think where our system, it's got multiple ways. Where your kids are geocoded, they're called geocoded, but you also have alternate sites. Just like you have babysitters and grandma's house and so forth. Well, you could just say they're at the Walmart. That's their alternate site. You could say they get picked up there. Now at this point in our routing system, you could just see that there's 200 kids, and then if you could have our automation take care of that, and of course based on your seating, you have your district policy, whether it's going to be 1 kid per bench or 2 or whatever you have in there. Our system actually would generate the routes for you. So there's a lot of different things, and you don't have to use Excel. Listen, I love Excel. I can do a lot of things in Excel that sometimes I impress myself, but there's other ways to do this, especially get a routing systems, and I'm sure we'll get a hold of you guys.
I love a good pivot table, Tony.
Right?
Good
I
pivot
love
table.
that, man. Those are very complex. There's another one right here that says, do you guys have any apps that have API access? Well, our system is all API solutions. We use all that. And API, by the way, for those people that don't know what API is, just a way for data to be going back and forth, right? Almost ingest data, digest it, and really do something with it. And that's how a lot of technology companies, especially a lot of our partners, we're working together to get that. There's no more, I call it a sneaker net, the old days that you actually put something on a floppy disk, you walk across the room or across the town and you put it inside the other computer. Well, that sneaker net doesn't really happen anymore. Then it was, of course, the wide area networks that data files will ship back and forth. Now it's not, it's just instant. So good question about APIs. I think it's good. I have a shout out here from Katrina Falk, of course.
Katrina, hey.
She's always great. I think she's got a session coming up too. I can't wait to hear all about it. You had a bus running behind schedule the second week, and we had a lot of positive comments from parents about the push notification. Clearly, Katrina sent out notification. Parents say, hey, give us a break. We're running behind. And clearly parents, sometimes it's better to let people know what's going on than to hear after a fact. And but we talk about over communication. Let's hear from parents directly through the app, not through social media, because at that point we can't undo that. We can't undo social media. So good things in there. Obviously, we got some other things here about is the routing compatible Skyward to download student addresses. We definitely do. Clearly, we rely on student information systems to have accurate data, but you can make those changes yourself. So this is Skyward. Really, there shouldn't be any student information system out there that we can't pull data. And by the way, pulling data again, you go back to the sneaker net, or we could really get data, which 2:00 in the morning, data gets automatically inserted into the system, and it does all that cool things. Even put the kid on the route. Isn't that cool? So there's a lot of different things in there. Of course, Katrina, you're actually answering a question about large group stops. So thank you for answering that question there. A couple other things here. Good info. Compatible with Apple, definitely. So all of our apps are Android and Apple friendly. Both of them. We know that it goes back and forth. I'm personally an Apple person, but we have enough Android devices everywhere here in the office because we have to do tons of testing. And it's not one thing about Apple, they're just limited number of devices. When I talk about an Android, there's so many. So we really could get, we try our best to buy some. If someone wants to donate a box of older phones, we'll take them because we need to do some testing. But the big thing is we always rely on our clients, and most of the time our clients appreciate that they're beta testers and sometimes they're alpha testers. Test things out for us, and you got to test the soup before you serve it to people. So it's always cool things. I think there's other. Somebody asked where the PowerPoint slideshow is going to be. I don't have the answer. Maybe someone knows. Where's this?
I think it's going to be a PDF, right? We're going to.
I think so,
yep.
and I
make it available as a PDF and share that with everybody.
Most of the things here. Oh, I got another one. There's all these finders, add-ons to the main, and I'm getting wrap it up here to the main program. Yes, very good. All these products, these finders products, are mainly going to be add-ons to that circle. We don't talk about when John talked about the routing. Route Finder Plus is the center of the universe. We believe it is, but yes, you do need that centerpiece in order to add on. But I think we have a lot of different things. And also, I've been told, hurry up because you also can answer online. So I think I got everything here.
Yeah.
Good to go.
I think we're good.
Good to go.
Awesome
Yeah.
job.
Thanks,
Woo!
guys.
Thank you, Tony.
Thank you
Did
for
it.
everyone for joining this session.
It's
We
nice seeing
have-
people.
It is definitely. We have the Transfinder product showcase at 1:30 p.m. So make sure you tune in for that. And thank you. We'll see you around the event.
Yes. Bye.
Okay.